movement for a people's party, a new far-left progressive party promising the world to disenfranchise Democrats who are not planning to vote this coming election. This new far-left progressive party promises to deliver everything but the moon to everyone anywhere. Here it is. I'm reading from their platform. This is what they are promising to deliver. An economic bill of rights, strong unions and workplace democracy, modernizing our infrastructure, a fair tax code, and modernizing small businesses everywhere in the United States, rein in Wall Street and create public banks, fair trade, abolish corruption and restore democracy, secure and transparent elections, defend civil liberties, Medicare for all, free public college and quality education for all everywhere, comprehensive immigration reform, clean energy and environment protection, animal welfare, sustainable agriculture, restorative justice, racial justice, equal rights for women, LGBTQIA equality, wow, honor indigenous rights, a collaborative and peaceful global community, promise and peril of accelerating technology, take care of all veterans. I have three major macro tests. Let's call it the smell test, or call it Sibel Edmonds' litmus test for any new party, for any new grassroots organization, for any NGOs. What are these three major test criteria? Okay, one is funding. Where is the money coming from? Who is pouring money into whatever new organization, grassroots organization, or a new party? The other one is the PR, marketing, promotion, okay? Who? What outlets? Which outlets within the mainstream media or outside the mainstream media is pushing, promoting, providing PR publicity for a new party? And most importantly, the most important smell test is the intent, the intention, or some may call it the agenda. Now, let's look at this new party, and let's start with their funding test. The section on the funding for this new People's Party is really loosely worded, opening the door for mega NGOs, billionaires, foundations such as Soros, Rockefellers, Hewlett-Packards, Gates, etc. Let me read this sneakily worded mission statement on their funding. MPP's goal is to advance an independent party free of billionaire and corporate influence. For this reason, PFWD MPP will not accept billionaire and lobbyist money nor contributions from industries which harm the people and the planet with their agenda of extraction and exploitation. Okay, basically what they are saying here is there are certain mega corporations, okay, or billionaires mega corporations, companies that they will not receive money from. However, as we all know, these billionaires, okay, at least the main ones within the deep state, they do this funding, co-opting via their foundations, via their larva NGOs. Take George Soros as an example. Well, George Soros is not giving hundreds of millions of dollars a year through his business company. George Soros has several foundations established, okay? These foundations under them have dozens, if not hundreds of larva NGOs. And it is through these maze, okay, they contribute, okay, co-opt, give money, fund any types of grassroots organizations that they are target or a new party. So their wording is not including that. Another thing that got my attention was this particular factual statement, and that says over 90% of our donors give $50 or $100 or less. Well, that's meaningless. All it takes is 0.001% of their contributors to give several millions of dollars that would dwarf the entire money they have gotten from this so-called 90%. So even though it looks pretty, it looks really good on the paper as an advertisement tool, when it comes to action, you really have to go pass through all that and really think, what does that mean? It provides a lot of room to maneuver and get a lot of funding from billionaires like Gates, like Rockefellers, right, like George Soros, okay? And yet, truthfully, factually say that we don't accept money from many mega corporations that are damaging the planet or they are engaged in some sort of exploitation. Very loosely worded. And it's not as transparent as I would like to see it. Okay, now let's go into their PR, the marketing, the promotions. Let's look at which outlets who have been mainly promoting this new Common People's Party. Here it is, okay? Democracy Now! Funded by millions and millions of dollars a month from George Soros, and you can go and check this fact, Rockefeller Foundations, Hewlett-Packard's Foundation, Gates Foundation. Basically, you look at their funders, the main ones that are pouring millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars into Democracy Now!, and you will see who they are serving. This is Amy Goodman, Democracy Now!, and let's watch.
Meanwhile, some former Sanders supporters have launched a movement to draft Bernie for a People's Party, urging him to start a new progressive party and run for president in 2020. Well, for more, we're joined by two guests. Nick Brana is the former outreach coordinator for the Bernie Sanders campaign. He's joined with former Bernie staffers and volunteers to launch the campaign. We're also joined by Dr. Cornel West, professor of the practice of public philosophy at Harvard University. He served on the Democratic Party's platform committee during the 2016 election. Now, he too has joined the movement to draft Sanders.
Okay, here is another one. Another Soros, Clinton's, and directly Google-funded disreputable Young Turks. I want you to watch, I want you to listen and see how this disreputable, okay, deep state-funded PR machine is marketing this new Common People's Party. Let's watch.
The People's Party convention had a number of wonderful speakers. I wish we can cover more of them in depth, but I did choose two highlights to discuss, including Bernie's 2020 campaign co-chair, State Senator Nina Turner, and the incredibly powerful words that she had to share. Let's take a look.
The old and the rich will live on a while, as always, eating blood and gold, letting kids die. Kids will die in the swamps of Mississippi, organizing sharecroppers. Kids will die in the streets of Chicago, organizing workers. Kids will die in the orange groves of California, telling others to get together. Whites and Filipinos, Negroes and Mexicans, all kinds of kids will die. who don't believe in lies and bribes and contentment and a lousy peace. Hello, somebody. See, this poem encapsulates this very moment.
Here is Politico coverage, a right-out establishment mainstream media outlet. Here it is, even Guardian, the United Kingdom's New World Order mainstream outlet, provides PR for this new party. Well, so far, considering the outlets promoting, marketing this new party, this new political party in the United States, Democracy Now!, Politico, Young Turks, and also the loosely worded funding statement kind of gets them stuck when it comes to my litmus test. Finally, here it comes, the most important test of all time, and that is the intention, the intent, the objective, or even the agenda. For this one, time will show. And believe me, when I say time, I'm not talking about several months or a year. I'm talking about within the next few days or maybe a week, we will see what the real agenda or the real intent, the intention is here. Here is how, okay? They know, this is the Democratic Party, they know that they have lost millions of people from their bases for the elections because of Biden. There are millions of Democrats, okay, and they are smart people. They can't stomach, they will not stomach, they cannot stand the idea of going out there and casting their vote for Biden, okay? What are they gonna do? Many of these disenfranchised Democrats are not going to vote. They have gotten to a point of being so disgusted, and I totally understand, that they say, you know what, I can't do this. I'm not gonna even vote because this is no alternative, okay? Now, the Democratic Party would like to, for this presidential race, they would like to be able to find ways, implement strategies to bring back this disenfranchised Democrats into the fold and have them vote for Biden. This, I'm not saying this may be one of those strategies. Because, let me explain this. Look at the people who are directing, managing this organization. You're gonna see a bunch of people, and these people, they get high salary, okay? These people are the kinds that roll in money. They are not the types of people who go and work very hard simply due to idealism, simply due to the fact that they are believers, okay? When you're looking at campaign managers, campaign finance managers, campaign publicity managers. When you look at these people for the parties, main parties, what you find are these professionals who are very good at what they do and they charge for it. Look at some of these people who are currently running this so-called new party. You see that many of them are from Bernie Sanders' campaign. The financial advisor, the PR manager, etc. You will see that all of them have been professionally active with this, what they call now evil Democratic Party, as high-level either strategists or managers. So basically you're looking at the same crowd. And not only that, they want Bernie Sanders to be part of this. Well, Bernie Sanders has already openly endorsed who? Joe Biden. This is one of the reasons many of the Democrats out there, they're saying, we are disgusted, we are not gonna even vote this election, which is less than 2 months away. So what better way to actually bring back at least a faction or a portion of these disenfranchised Democrats who are not planning to vote? What they're gonna do, possibly, if they do it, that would be the major failure when it comes to my litmus test, and it should be for your litmus test as well. Here's what I expect is going to happen. I hope it won't, because I always support independent new parties, at least the ones that are initially, with their objective, with their intentions, are trying to separate themselves from all this incestuous cesspool of billionaires funded NGOs and organizations or even political parties. This is what they may do, okay? And I believe, in my heart, I believe, with me as an analyst, I believe this will be the following. They're out there saying, their leaders, their managers of this new party, they are saying, we are forming this party because we hate this corrupt Democratic Party, which is true. I agree with them. Who would disagree with them? It's because we are so disillusioned with the choice being Biden, etc., etc. But most likely, we are going to see in the next few days or maybe a week or so, for the same people to come and say the following. This is what they may say. Look, we're going to run as the new party as we establish ourselves in 2024 elections, presidential elections, etc. However, no matter how horrible it is, no matter how much we agree with you that this Democratic Party and Joe Biden, it's basically the same player as the rest of them coming from the deep state, okay? We know that. But we are asking you, our constituents, you, our followers, because they are saying they have more than 800,000 people who have already registered with them. Well, thanks to Democracy Now!, Amy Goodman, and the George Soros funding, thanks to the disreputable outlets such as the Young Turk and their Bill Gates and Clintons and Google funding, sure, they have gotten very quickly 800,000 people within their fold in the last year or so. But this is what they're gonna say: vote for Biden. Vote Democrat even though we agree with you. He's terrible, Democratic Party is sinking, etc., etc. Then we'll make up for it when 2024 comes. Then you go with us and we all go vote for this new party. That's the strategy. If that happens, which I hope it won't, but I know it will, you know that they have failed the biggest, the most important litmus test about being a new party, being an independent party, being all those things. Now, with that, I am going to have a live segment on this, having the discussion, debate during this live session through my communities at Newsbud and also via Patreon. If you're interested in independent media with integrity, fact-based, non-partisan media, then I invite you to join me via your subscriptions and or donations at Newsbud and or Patreon. This is Sibel Edmonds, reporting facts, exposing hypocrisy, scams, and cover-ups for 2 decades.